Hello everyone, welcome to Telangana Exam Center. Today we have very good topics to discuss. The first one is all about inflation, the second one is all about renewable energy, which are very important for the examination, especially for the prelims and also for the mains model answers. Okay, right? So before going into the discussion, I would like to also explain you what is the meaning of retail inflation. The inflation which is calculated at the end, okay, at the end of the supply chain where consumer actually buys the product, that particular inflation is called as retail inflation. So if we talk about the supply chain, it starts with what? Manufacturers, it goes towards wholesalers, then it goes towards retailers, then it gets into the hand of the consumers. So from retailer, whatever the retail price is there on which the consumers actually buy, that is called as what? Retail price. And if there is an increase in this prices are there at this particular level, then we call it as what? Retail inflation is there in our country. Suppose a Parle-G biscuit you are getting at 10 rupees, and after 6 months it is like getting at 12 rupees, then it is called as what? Retail inflation. As because let us suppose that these Parle-G biscuits are very important for the children to eat, then what government can do in order to make sure that the 10 rupees should not increase to 12 rupees? The government at the manufacturer level can give what? Subsidies. So when the subsidies are given, their cost will decrease and the same price they will sell to wholesalers and the same price they will get to the retailers. Okay, so we can manage the retail pricing in this way by giving subsidies, incentives, okay, and also tax exemptions, etc., so and so forth to the manufacturers. Okay, why? Because giving the money to the consumer will not be the good idea, because we never know that how that particular amount of money will be used by the people at the end use. We will never able to find out. That's the reason government will not put in our bank account, because instead of Parle-G biscuit we may buy a cigarette also. So better is to give with regard to what? Parle-G biscuit that is taken by the children, so that their nutrition levels will also increase. I am talking about Parle-G biscuits, not necessarily mean the Parle-G biscuits will be important to the children's. We can also talk about what? Milk, we can also talk about fruits, etc., so and so forth. So the price which the consumer buys from the retailer is called as retail price, and if there is any increase is there in this particular level, we call it as what? Retail inflation. I hope this is all clear to you. Now I would like to also go into the details of retail inflation. What will happen if the retail inflation is, let us suppose it is low? Okay, means 10 rupees Parle-G biscuit is only became has become only what? 10 rupees 50 paisa. Retail inflation is very low. This is good for the consumers or not? Yes, because it helps us to save more. It helps us to shell out less money on the same items, and savings will lead to what? Savings in banks, and banks will give it for investment, and investment leads to what? More economic production, which is nothing but GDP will increase or not? Yes. So this process is possible if we are having what? Same prices continuing. So it is good from the part of what? Consumers. But imagine a point here: a retail factory is there, Parle-G factory. The landowner will not keep the same rent, right? It will, he will increase obviously. Electricity prices keeps on increasing, and wages, salaries, increments, okay, bonuses will also be there on and off, and overhead cost may also increase, and transportation cost may also increase, petrol cost may also increase, which again affect the, sorry for this, again there was a problem with regard to the Wi-Fi. So I will continue this. So I was talking about there would be coming time where we will be having what? Over surplus of food and vegetables, because we are changing our lifestyle. Okay, right. Now, and the experts have also said that the industrial production have decreased. This is the second important current affairs. Amid the In the mid of the mounting pressure from US tariffs since the beginning of this year, the Donald Trump is actually putting a lot of tariffs on Indian exports. Okay, sometimes 50%, but pharma products is taxed almost like 100%. India's index of industrial production in production fell to 14-month low. Uh, uh, it comes to around 0.4%, like 100 like pencils we are actually producing, it becomes so much 14-month low 0.4%. Okay, it has become so low, means we just added around not even one extra pencil in the last 14 months. So our index of industrial production is decreasing and it is around 0.4%. And government, we asked the government the same question. Government said that no, it is because of the festivals like Dashera, Diwali and Chhath. That's the reason people have migrated from here and there. That's the reason the index of industrial production have decreased. However, some experts believe that US tariffs may have taken a toll on manufacturing, because if you produce excess and if you want to sell in US market, okay, your goods will not be sold also, maybe because you are have your goods are having high prices when compared to the goods of the same. Like if you have exported a grinder, or if you exported a potato coming from Japan, potato coming from Germany is getting in less prices than Indian potato. That's the reason. So you may not get that much of scope to overproduce. That's why overproduction is not happening with regard to manufacturing. It can also, you can also consider pressure cooker, or you can also consider grinders, etc. The adverse impact of US tariffs and penalties is also likely to have impacted production, it seems, according to experts, across many of the manufacturing subsegments. According to the ICRA, very good credit rating agency, we should not be leaving it apart. Okay, we have to take that credit. The Crystal and Sibyl and the ICRA are very important credit rating agencies, and Government of India officially mentions in the economic service tools. Okay, this is a very big India's renewable energy program. We'll do in the next class. Okay, I hope this is all clear to you. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow in our new current affairs. Okay, bye. Take care. There was a little bit glitch with regard to our lecture, so no need to worry about it. Let us start our discussion again from where we have left. So I was talking about this, no? I was saying that when a Parle-G biscuit factory is there, so the rent, obviously the landowner will not keep quiet. He will definitely ask for increment. The salaries, they will ask for increment. The staffs, they will ask for increment. Improve, okay, bonuses, etc. Electricity costs may increase. Okay, plus overheads, transportation, fuel prices. So obviously this is increasing. So it is very difficult for them to maintain the same price. They have to increase the price so that the increased cost of production, whatever has happened, so that they have to cover, right or wrong. So if this is not increasing, then what will happen is they will go into what losses, because the cost of fixed production, whatever are there, it is increasing. Okay, so retail inflation, low retail inflation is not good. Low retail inflation is not good. Getting my point here? Okay, fine. So I hope this is clear to you. So this is what the problem with regard to retail inflation. We have gotten news on it. November, means November 2025, retail inflation rate in India is very low, 0.25. It has recently grown little bit, 0.7%. So 10 rupees Parle-G biscuit, which was actually hanging around 10.25 rupees, it became what, 10.71. So close to 1 rupee increase happened with regard to retailer products. Okay, however, the inflation rate is still below the Reserve Bank of India's comfortable band of 2 to 6. So according to one committee was there, that committee was called as Urjit Patel committee. This committee has always said that this committee has indexes the inflation, means it has given a band. Okay, 2 to 6 percentage band is given. About 2% and below 6%, it is a comfortable range of inflation where the consumers and also what manufacturers, both of them will be in what win-win situation. Consumer can also afford and the manufacturer can also sell on that particular inflation, whether it is 2 rupees increase or 3 rupees increase or 5 rupees increase, there is no problem. They will make the profits. We can also afford it. Okay, according to Urjit Patel committee, whatever he has told, that is very true, because 10,000 rupees if the basket of retail articles that you purchase every month, if it increases to 10,600, this is okay, this is fine. But 10,000 products, the retail basket or consumer basket, whatever the price was there before, if it increases to 12,000, will become a burden or not? Yes. So this 600, we are actually talking about some subsidies will be given, some government educational schemes are being run, so government is saving your money from other end. So this 600 you might be having as a part of saving, so that increase will not have any impact like that the government actually expect from you. Okay, so good news with regard to the retailers are that 0.25% retail inflation, which was very hovering at low, and now increases 0.71. Good thing. This has been the case since case 3 months in a row now. This consistent drop in the inflation rate does not compare well with the world top 5 economics. So we are, this consistent drop is going down and hovering around 2.5 is not good. Okay, fine. So here you can see that India's inflation rises marginally, it rises like 0.25 becomes 0.71, so not a great increase, right? Yes, so marginally increase. So you can see that with regard to India, you can see that with regard to, we are having India here, so our inflation is going very down, just increase. Whereas with regard to Japan, you see it is like okay, it is like they are around 2 to 3%, but well below the Urjit Patel committee. All of them are hovering around what, 4 to 2%, everyone. Okay, Germany, this yellow line, it is also around 2.5%. China, you can see the red line, it is also like we are there here or what? Okay, just let me know. Okay, China is the red one, so they have gone down, and they're also picking up with us. Okay, along with India and China are all in the same loop with regard to retail, lower retail inflation. I hope a small understanding with regard to comparative inflation rates. Okay, increase inflation rates we have seen, and we have seen that how it impacts the consumers, how it impacts the manufacturer, etc., so on and so forth. So why this trend is happening, why there is a continuous hovering or lowering of inflation rates we are seeing? Because deflation in food prices are decreasing over a period of time. Since June, whatever the wheat, rice, etc., vegetables, etc., are there, no, which is decreasing. Vegetable prices also fell to 22%. 100 rupees palak bhaji you was taking before, no, last month, you might be getting this time around 80 rupees. So in vegetables also, what is happening, there is a low prices we are getting the vegetables, and in the food also we are getting the low prices. This too, which is very important constituent of our basket of commodity that we consume daily, that is what we call it as ration, has leading to what, consumer food price inflation is stagnating, remained at minus 3.1 percentage last month. Okay, Reserve Bank of India in the November bulletin, means last November bulletin, they have said that CPI inflation will be around 2.6%, but that did not happen. So Reserve Bank of India was actually optimistic at the time that okay, by this, like last November, they thought that this November the inflation rates will increase by 2.6%, but it did not happen. 0.25% become only 0.71%. So this is a trend is because of what? Because of deflation in food prices and vegetable prices, and it is also against the RBI predictions. A lower inflation rate, as I've already discussed in a empty slide with you, can indicate very good and very bad. The good part is that the prices remain affordable for all of us, and we will be able to have what, enjoy a lot of choices of foods and etc., so and so forth. Our purchasing power is already remain intact. Thus, this will give central government more room to steer the economy safely, resisting any external pressure. If any problems happen with regard to foreign exchange, any problems happen with regard to raw materials or importing of seeds, oil pulses, also we are able to hold on. Why? Because the actual masses are not getting affected with regard to what, food prices. We are able to afford aloo, baigan, okay, tomato, uligada, etc., so and so forth on a normal prices. Okay, and if the prices, one of the important area of RBI is what, in order to stabilize prices, and also the second important area is to stimulate economic growth. As the inflation chapter is very well happening, so RBI can now have the window to go for what, economic growth. They can have the expansionary monetary policies that they can also have. From a monetary policy perspective, moderating inflation provides the RBI greater room to support more economic growth. Okay, can lower the repo rates so that the banks can buy, and give us a lot of money for inflation, because a lot of money is also there with the people and also there with the banks also in this case, so that more entrepreneurs, more production, more expansion of business units, RBI can concentrate on it. Okay, so that we can able to push away external whatever the events are there, uncertainties surrounding with regard to trade with USS. Okay, keeping all of that, we can concentrate on ourselves. In contrast, if you see, it may also indicate that the market demand is also low. Oversupply has led to, this is very true, because I used to have around 4x, now I don't have 4x. Okay, before I used to have a lot of non-veg, now I don't used to have a lot of non-veg, though I am only 35 years old, but still I am changing my lifestyle habits, and I'm trying to consume less and less. And what I understood that in future also there would be oversupply of the goods and services, like especially the food services are there, because people